Hi and welcome everyone. I'm not sure, is my sound clear? I hope you guys can hear me. It looks like we are live. First live stream by myself. How exciting. Let me know in the comments if my sound is good. I'll put the music a little bit softer just here in the background. Okay, let me know if the music's good. If it's too loud, let me know. Okay. Cool. Welcome everyone. Welcome to my first live stream. So excited to be here. Today we will go through some market sentiment. As always, I like to go through a little bit of news, see where the market is at. Also, let's analyze the price of Bitcoin here together. And I'll also, if you have some altcoins you would like to see, we can look at Bitcoin dominance. We can look at ETH to Bitcoin strength. And let's dive right into it. Okay, first up, let's go through a little bit of news. Let me know if the music, I think the music is a little bit loud. Let me put that softer. Okay, cool. I see you guys. And also, you know, I'll spend some time with the community. I'll talk to you guys, chat. Please ask some questions. I see you, Willem Tiart. Hannes, welcome. US Trucking, Alan Clark, good afternoon. Hello, Julian. And let's go into the news. Right, first up is, and the monthly close did form a doji candle, which means the fight is still going on between the bulls and the bears. What is a doji candle? Does anyone know what a doji candle is? Let's look at the price of Bitcoin here. And let me clean up the chart. Okay, let's go to the monthly. Right, what is a doji candle? A doji candle is basically an indecision candle. The market cannot decide whether it should go up or whether it should go down. So as you can see here, for the month of Jan, we made a doji candle. A long wick to the top, long wick to the bottom, and a little bit of a consolidation here in the middle, which means it's an indecision candle. Okay. Basically 50-50 whether we're going up or whether we're going down. Okay, so indecision from a doji perspective on a monthly time frame. Next up, let's go. Next up. The FOMO was last night and they didn't increase the rates. So quite bullish for Bitcoin. Well, it was really of a nothing burger yesterday, I'll be honest. Didn't really see any momentum to the upside or to the downside. The Fed has announced no rate hikes. Okay, the first rate cut is expected to happen in May, which is around Bitcoin halving. This is very bullish. I'll be honest, I do anticipate perhaps still a pullback after the halving. And from my perspective and my analysis, it looks like the price of Bitcoin will start exploding here from mid-May, June, July. I think that's the right time to get into the market. Fill up your spot bags, obviously during the dips, buying all the red candles. That is the plan for now. Okay, just in, FTX expects to repay its crypto customers in full. This is extremely good news. If you've been part of the crypto market for as long as I have, and you most probably used FTX as to trade, an exchange to do your trading on, you've most probably lost some cash. Together with me, I've also lost some cash in the FTX collapse. And now basically what this means is that we'll get our money back potentially. So this is potentially very good news, giving us some bags in our cash in our bags so that we can load up for the next Bitcoin bull run that's about to start. Okay. Next up, just in, Fidelity and Grayscale are now also advertising their spot Bitcoin ETFs on Google. As per my previous YouTube updates, if you guys remember, you will know that Google prevented any advertisement from a crypto perspective in the past. Now, Google allowed it, I think, since 2 days ago, since Tuesday, Monday, I can't remember the exact date, I think from the 29th. Right, so this is potentially very bullish, and I do think, you know, it's going to take a little bit of momentum for this news to pick up and for the advertisement to come through. But nonetheless, Fidelity and Grayscale has now also jumped on the advertising bandwagon, advertising the new Bitcoin ETFs that's been launched. So all bullish news at the moment, just bullish. I'm waiting for that bad news to come out to send us down to that $30,000 level. Right, inverse head and shoulders. I've seen this from a couple of people, so let's perhaps tackle this inverse head and shoulders. Let's go here onto the 4 hour and see where is this head and shoulders that everyone inverted head and shoulders. I think I covered this in one of my previous updates as well, is when you draw a little neckline, and perhaps the neckline is over here, and we have a shoulder, a head, and perhaps a small little shoulder, or could be always this the shoulder, but nonetheless you take a little trend to measure an estimated move for this inverted head and shoulders to play out from the bottom to the top of the neckline. Okay, and that is the anticipated move, taking us here to $38,000. It still does look like we will then make a lower high, I always mix that up, lower high, for continuation to the downside, even if this pattern plays out. But I do see social media, everyone talking about this inverted head and shoulders, or inverse head and shoulders. Okay, but we'll analyze the price of Bitcoin and see where can the price take us potentially. As always, I do highlight bullish and bearish scenarios, because if you're leaning bullish, the market is there to surprise you. If you're leaning bearish, then the market is also there to surprise you. And I do know, we won't mention any names, a couple of people that remained bearish for too long and liquidated large amounts of cash. Okay, cool. Let's get back into the news. What else? Breaking news. Okay, what is this big breaking news? Argentina government removes tax on Bitcoin. Now that is really interesting. I think good moves that some countries are making is to either reduce the capital gains tax on crypto or remove it completely, enticing crypto traders like me and you to go to these countries where we can make tons of cash and not pay any tax. So really enticing. Great move, Argentina, embracing this whole new digital crypto aspect. New, BlackRock slashed its spot Bitcoin ETS fees, and ARK follows at 0.21. So really a battle at the moment between all the ETFs from different companies that's been launched to offer the cheapest price so that people can buy Bitcoin through them. Okay, so also still bullish to see all of this news. Right, what else? Let's dive into the comments and analyze the price of Bitcoin here together. Okay, who else is here? Chanuka, Zach, Alan, Simon Jones. Hi everyone, nice to see you all here. If you have any altcoins you'd like me to have a look at, please let me know in the comments. And let's analyze the price of Bitcoin. And I suppose during a live stream you guys will see a little bit of a different side to me, where I will be brainstorming and not really prepared my analysis before I shoot the video, but more from a brainstorming perspective. Where can the price take us? Let's look at both bullish and bearish scenarios. Okay, cool. So let's forget about this head and shoulders. And you'll see I've got my object tree always. If you're a neat trader, you have your object tree here on the side. Clean up your charts, keep your things nice and tidy. You don't want to go to a restaurant where there's food on the floor and cockroaches walking around and it looks like a mess. You want to keep it nice and tidy. Cool. So I've got some daily analysis, and perhaps let's just stick with the daily analysis for now and switch on some daily levels. Right. Okay. Now it starts getting interesting, as to say, yesterday also in the community, we spoke about this momentum here to the upside. Let me go on to the 2 hour. I really like the 2 hour chart. Okay, nice little mix between the 1 hour and the 4 hour chart. Okay, cool. Yesterday in our community, and if you'd like to join our community, please, the link is in the Discord, in the description down below. So please go and sign up, where we all trade together and give analysis together with Andy. So yesterday in the community, we spoke about this move up. And I suppose the confusing thing about this move up is that we did count this as a potential, let me grab my pen, a 1, 2, and this is now where it gets interesting, either 3, 4, 5 for the end of a impulse to the upside, where we now wanted to see an A, B, C. Okay, the end of the correction. And also another way to count it is to say that, well, perhaps this is a 1, 2, 3. And we are now busy with a 5th wave to the upside. Okay. Then there's also the scenario to say that, well, if this is, let's tackle the 5-wave scenario first. If this is a 5-wave structure, okay, you can see a deeper correction to the downside, because this could potentially be forming a 1, 2, 3 to the upside. Okay. If this is the end of a 3rd wave, okay, let me take the brushes out the way, clean this up a bit. If this is a 3rd wave, then you want to still see a 5th wave here to the upside before we see a deeper correction to form that bigger wave one to the upside, or a corrected structure. We'll just have to observe price reaction when we get to those levels. Okay, so the one thing that we then looked at is to say, okay, when we got this momentum here to the upside, you can see when you zoom in here, okay, let me just take the pen out. When you zoom in here, we had a closing candle above the daily level. That is bullish. From a technical perspective, that is usually bullish. You want to claim a level and then close a candle above, which we did. Okay. But in the same breath, if I go here onto CVD and I'm here on the 5-minute CVD, you will see yesterday what then happened is, look at this massive bullish CVD, a bearish CVD. Okay, look at this. Okay, lower high in price and massive higher high in CVD. Okay, but because we claimed the daily level from a technical perspective, it did look like we were going to come and claim this high. Okay, but also the B waves loves the 0.88. So when you go and take a fib, as I explained yesterday as well, is when you take a fib from the top to the bottom, okay, all these levels, B waves are very difficult to trade, okay, because it has a 382 target, a 50% target, 618, 786, and an 88 target, and then you get B flat targets as well, where you basically take your fib extension, your trend-based fib, from the bottom, or from the top to the bottom, you drag it across. Okay, I think we were over here. Cool, let me not, we were over there, you reverse it. Okay, reverse it, and then you have B flat targets over here. So very difficult to trade a B wave because it has so many targets. You just have to observe the price reaction at daily and weekly and point of control levels. That's why it's so important to have those levels marked out, so that you can observe the price reaction for potential turnaround. Because what could have happened is we claim the daily and we go and tap this B expanding target at the top before we tank down. You know, that was a high probability based on the fact that we closed above the daily level. Then what happened is, and we broke down, and we got acceptance back below. Okay, bearish. And what I did is I entered a trade over here. I got in a little bit late. I was sleeping. I ran to my PC, switched everything on, and by the time I called the price, it was over here. But my target was the low. It still made my risk to reward worth it. And the daily level, that was my 2 profit taking targets. And what happened, I just want to show you guys here on BingX. As I remember, as I've said many times before, I put $47, $48, I can't remember, let's just make it a round number. I put $50 into this account, and then last night, you know, that was the trade, a 48% trade at 20x leverage, $39. And this account is now standing at $193, where I started a couple of weeks ago, about 2 or 3 weeks ago, at $50. So I am being quite aggressive with this account. Please don't do what I do. Please try and do what I tell you to do. We practice good risk management, but I did practice good risk management. I'll be honest, I did practice good risk management, but I am being a little bit aggressive. But this is money that I'm prepared to lose. I don't mind losing this money. This is my play account. So whether I lose it or whether I build it up to $1,000, only time will tell. I will keep you updated on the progress of this account as we go along. I plan to take profit here at $1,000. When this account reaches $1,000, I will take half off the table and then try and push it to 1,000 again. Okay, if you'd like to trade with me, please go down in the description. BingX is one of the links that you can click to sign up and come and trade with me. Have some fun, put a small amount, $10, $20, let's have some fun together, take these trades, and obviously with good risk management. Okay, then what else? let's just see. Okay, so obviously we got acceptance, then back below, and this is the trades that you look for, is to say that you break through a level, you get acceptance back below, and that is your short entry. Okay, I did not put my stop loss over here because I played this candle down. So I literally zoomed in here onto the 15 minutes, and hopefully it's just a little bit of education. How did I enter this trade? I went onto the 15 minutes and I put my stop loss round about this level over here. And the reason I did it and not over here is purely from a risk to reward perspective. I do not want to have a 1-to-1 or a 1.5 risk to reward trade. Okay, so let's do this. Show everyone, you need to make this tool your best friend. Okay, let's grab the short one. Slap it on and you plan your trade. You have to plan your trade. So my first target was the lows. Okay, I entered round about this level over here. Okay, so the risk to reward for me, I only enter a trade when I get at least a risk to reward of 2. The risk to reward for me was too low. So although we got acceptance back below the level, I was like, okay, well, the risk to reward doesn't make sense to me, so I brought my stop loss down. Okay, now the risk to reward is worth it for me, and my reasoning behind it is to say that now that we have acceptance back below the level, I don't want to see us come back. Okay, if we come back, we're potentially finding strength to move up again. So I left the trade and then nice took profit here at the daily level. I actually forgot to take profit here. So by the time I got to my PC, my profit TP hit here on the daily level, and nice little profit for that trade. Okay, it's, you know, I usually tell some people and family members as well, there's 3 things that you have to remember about trading. Being a successful trader is you have to know why you entered the trade. Secondly, good risk management. Where are you planning to take profit, and where is your risk management, and what is your risk to reward? Okay, you have to have that planned out. Is that a lot of people enter a trade, they know where their profit is, they know where their risk management is supposed to be, but sometimes they don't know why they're entering the trade. Or it's vice versa. You know why you're entering the trade, but you have no idea where to take profit, or you don't know how to apply risk management, and you still bleed out your account slowly but surely. Okay, cool. So that's basically the reason why I entered this trade. So just doing a little bit of a recap, perhaps a little bit of education. And okay, before we dive into what can we expect next from Bitcoin, let's go through some of the comments. Hi, mate. Simon, Zach, Alan, Andreas, Fernandez, I see you guys. Marcel, all the nice community members, I see all of you. Thanks for joining. I appreciate it. What percentage do you risk in trades on your play account? Okay, I risk, so I think for this trade here to the downside, I risked 20% of my capital at 20x leverage, and my stop loss was quite tight. Okay, so I know it's high risk, and I would never recommend that anyone 20x their portfolio with 20x leverage, but the risk to reward for me was definitely worth it. So I am being more aggressive, and I'm also only taking confident trades. So from a portfolio perspective, the money that I use to trade, the bigger portfolio, I never risk more than 3% of my capital. Okay, which basically means that your stop loss never needs to be or should not exceed 3% loss of your entire portfolio. So if you have a $100 portfolio, you should never lose more than $3 per trade, depending on where your stop loss is. You know, and I think this is where a lot of people get confused, is to say that there's 2 ways to play it. You can either, from a 3% perspective, that's a maximum capital that I would deploy. From a larger portfolio perspective, is to say that you can put your stop loss, okay, let's go back to the charts here. Your stop loss when you enter a trade, okay, let's just go here onto a blank screen and play this out. Right, when you enter a trade, first thing you have to do is always make sure that you have a risk to reward of 2, at least. That is what I look for. Your risk to reward has to be at least 2. Okay, hope everyone, because what 2 means is that even if you lose 7 trades, okay, and you win 3, you only lose 1% of your capital. You can go do the math. Okay, so you lose, let's work it out. So you lose 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Let's say 5%, no, it's 1%. So if you lose, sorry, I'm getting confused here with the math. If you lose 7 trades, you've lost 7% because you're, if you work on a 1-to-2 risk to reward ratio and you only lose 1% of your capital during each trade, you've lost 7% if you get 7 trades wrong. Now, because you've got a 2-to-1 risk to reward, if you win 3 trades, 2, 4, 6, it means you've only lost 1%. I hope that makes sense. That is why risk to reward is so important, and you should only enter a trade that has a risk of more than 2 or 2 or more. If it has 3 or 4, by all means, I mean, those are the golden trades that everyone likes to take. It's hard to find them, but you do find them, especially on the altcoins. And yeah, so you need to really make this your best friend. And I hope that makes sense. So you can either, from a stop loss perspective, trade your entire 100% of your portfolio, but your stop loss should not exceed 1% loss of your entire portfolio. Or what some traders do is they will risk 1% of their portfolio and 100 exit. Okay, I don't really like to use that strategy because you get stopped out or wicked out, and then the market does exactly what you wanted to do and it leaves you behind and you've lost your 1%. Now when you want to enter again, now you're risking another percent to enter that trade. Okay, hope that makes sense. Cool. What we're thinking here, we broke above previous day value area low, hit the point of control, and now retraced back to, like you and Andy suggested. Okay, let's go and analyze the price here together. Okay, let's take this out the way, clean it up a little bit. Cool, let's go back onto the 2 hour and see what is happening over here. Okay. What are the next possible trades? Okay, first things first, let's slap in some trend lines. You know, I love me some trend lines, always a good thing for me. And what you can see is that we broke this trend, and this looks like, look at that beautiful retest with this momentum here to the upside. Beautiful retest to the upside. Okay. We're going to have to find strength to break through this trend and get acceptance back above. Okay, so from a trend line breakout strategy, you waiting for the breakout and you want to buy the retest. And hopefully the price doesn't turn against you. Then, you know, what I like to do is go look at CVD. Do you see local bullish or bearish CVD before you enter this short over here from a trend line perspective? Okay, but the one thing we have to acknowledge, we have acceptance back above this daily. Okay, we broke through and we got acceptance back above. And also this morning in the community, I mentioned to say that I would love to see a retest and then continuation to enter a long position over here. Your stop loss below, and as soon as you're in the green, you move your stop to break even. Protect your cash. Even if the price does this and it comes back up, stops you out, I would re-enter and move my stop loss back to break even. I'd rather be stopped out with no loss than being stopped out once or twice with a loss. Okay, so my trading strategy and style is to move my stop loss to break even as soon as I possibly can, with the thought in the, or with the, how can I say it? With the thought in the back of my mind that I don't mind re-entering a trade. Okay, a lot of people get scared when they get stopped out, even with a no loss, they get scared to re-enter. I'm not scared to re-enter, so I'd rather enter multiple times with no loss than try and get stopped out with 1 or 2 losses. And yeah, I mean, you know, you try and revenge trade, try and make that money back, and yeah, that road doesn't end well usually. Okay, cool. So for now, we have acceptance back above the daily, and now we're finding momentum here to the upside. Let's see what's happening with CVD. Okay, let's look at CVD, see if we can spot any bullish or bearish CVDs. Let's refresh it, make sure that the candles are nice and aligned. If you do not know how to use CVD, I strongly recommend that you go and do some research and you add this as part of your toolkit. For me, CVD is one of the best indicators that I've used so far because it gives you real-time information where most of the indicators are lagging, like the RSIs and those type of indicators. Okay, so for now, I want to see what's happening here locally. So I'm here on the 5 minute and we're just checking the pivots. Okay, we don't have any bullish CVD at the moment, but I do see bullish CVD. Look at this, and I mean, obviously it can or cannot play out. You have a higher low, okay, lower high on CVD and on yellow. Okay, so this could potentially be, and the target is only this little high here. So looking for local CVD is usually what I look for, is to say that, well, you come and claim the high, but you can still find momentum to the downside. Okay, so these are small little scalps that you can play from a CVD perspective. Let's take this out the way. Okay, more locally, also look at the bullish CVD between these two pivots. Okay, CVD moving down, so that's the basis of CVD. When price moves up and CVD moves down, bullish. When price moves down, CVD moves up, bearish. Other way, when price moves, yeah, I think that that is it. When price moves up, or up and CVD moves down, bullish. When price moves down, CVD moves up, bearish. Okay, cool. So for now, nice little bullish CVD over here. Bullish CVD between these two pivots. The target was this high, and we went and we claimed it. Okay, we claimed it, we consolidated, we came back down. Now I'm looking for fresh CVD. So between this pivot and this pivot, okay, more bullish CVD. You see how bullish CVD kept on building up. So always when CVD plays out between two pivots, I then look at the next pivot to the right. I ignore this pivot, because from a CVD perspective, usually what happens is that once you've formed bullish CVD against a specific pivot, okay, and you form bullish CVD again against the same pivot, it becomes weaker. So I always look for CVD, fresh CVD to the right. Okay, now I look for CVD between this pivot and this pivot. Again, bullish CVD. Target being this high over here, and we took it. Right. Now we want to see more locally what's going to happen here. So for now, on the 3 minute here, I do see a little bit of bullish CVD for continuation up. But ideally, for us to have more momentum to the upside, is you want to see CVD moving down here, not claiming this pivot, and start building that bullish CVD. Okay, so yellow is still a little bit far away. Okay, cool. What else? Hi Devold, what percentage do you risk? We've gone through that comment. Hi, which site can we see CVD divergence? The site is called the charts.aggr.trade. Okay, and I've just got a script running here in the background, but without the script you can also see the CVD. Right. Okay, so unfortunately, in my experience, the CVD indicators on TradingView are not as reliable as this AGGR CVD, and I'm sure all the community members will confess to that as well, is that this one has a higher probability of playing out. It's easy to have a look at, especially when you're trading from a PC. Perhaps, I'm not sure from a phone perspective if that's difficult. I haven't used it on my phone, but yeah, the CVD indicators on TradingView are not reliable. They often have a lot more false signals, and they actually work in reverse. I think CVD usually on TradingView work the other way around, where if you make a higher low, you should be making higher highs on CVD. If I can, I haven't used it in a while, but I think it works the other way around, so it gets quite confusing. Okay, cool. What else? So the next trade for today, or the next probable thing that I see over here, is to say that, well, this could be the end of a C wave. We have a 3-wave structure over here, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so this could potentially be the end of a C wave. And also what you want to confirm is, well, what are C wave targets? You take a fib extension, okay, from the top to the bottom of B, okay, to the top, or the A, B, you take it from 5 to A to B, and now you want to work out your C wave targets. Right, let's go and reverse this. And as you guessed it, C wave targets are between the 1.236 and the 138. Okay, extended C wave targets can go all the way to the 1.618. We did hit the 1.236 which is a C-wave target nonetheless. So we did hit C-wave targets, and we could be making a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and continue momentum to the upside to come and complete a fifth wave. Okay, cool. So you want to see bullish CVD carrying through that momentum as we move down. You want to see bullish CVD building up. You don't really want to see bearish CVD because fifth waves are usually very explosive to the upside. Also the last wave in the structure then before you see a deeper ABC correction. Okay, cool. That is basically what I'm seeing on Bitcoin at the moment. Is we did hit a C-wave target. So what you ideally want to see here right now is for us to move up. Okay, if this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, we've now completed 4. You want to see us move up here to go and complete a fifth wave. Okay, if we start rejecting here and we're not managing to get through the daily level, and if I'm not mistaken, I think we rejected. I think I deleted my daily analysis. I will go get that back just now. Okay, there's a point of control. So let's go on to the 4 hour, switch on the VRBP. Okay. See, okay, you can see we got rejected. So also beautiful touch of the trend, and we also got rejected here from a point of control. High volume nodes struggling to break through. So for us to continue momentum here to the upside, you want to see us break through. Okay, you want to see us break through this high volume node and keep this level. Okay, consolidate, keep this level, break through the daily. So perhaps a scenario that could play out is to say, let's zoom in here a little bit. Take the brushes out. Okay. So potentially if we do break through this high volume node, you want to see us consolidate. Perhaps a scalp, a SFP from this fresh daily level on top. You have a little SFP, you retest the scene of the crime, and then you find continuation to the upside. Okay. Bearish scenario is to say that this is the end of 5 and we are going to make a deeper correction to the downside. Now we need to go and find levels of confluence. You take your fib from the bottom to the top. Let's go look for some confluence. We have a daily level here. If I switch on my weeklies, make sure that if you do not know how to add weekly or daily levels to your chart, I do have an education video in my channel. Please go and look for it. Search for daily and weekly levels. You'll see it there. I explain to you exactly how to add weekly and daily levels to trade like a pro. Okay, cool. I like to make my dailies green, my weeklies orange, so that when myself and Andy have sessions with the community members on Discord, you know, everyone knows that even if I forget to type in the names, a green level is a daily level, a orange is a weekly, and a purple is a monthly level. Okay, cool. So now we have some levels of confluence. Let's take this out. Okay, so here by the weekly we have a 50%. Okay, not really anything aligning up significantly, but what I do see here in the golden pocket, you know, between the 618 and 786 is considered a golden pocket. So if we had to come down here, and let's say this is the fifth wave, the end of the structure, and we are failing to break through that point of control where we got rejected. Okay, so we're failing to break through and we come back down, we have a weekly. First level I will be observing is the weekly level over here. You want to see how we react here. So if we come down and we get acceptance back above, that's your long entry. Okay, if we fail to break through, another level that I see is here on the daily between the 618 and the 786. And the reason I like this daily so much is because we have this order block or consolidation over here that will act as great support. Okay, so if we had to just smash through here, some bad news comes out, someone, you know, the ETFs, or something happens with ETFs or something, and or FTX are not going to pay us back our money, and we will definitely, most guaranteed, at least get a bounce. Okay, so I am expecting a bounce in this area if we do get here. I'm not saying that we could go to all-time highs, but I am saying that we will definitely get a bounce for a nice little scalp. Okay, because of this consolidation, nice little support over here, and usually you get a bounce, and if it's bearish, you will get the bounce and then move down. If it's bullish, that will be an ultimate long. So I would definitely, if we come down here to this daily level, I will definitely take profits on the way up, but I will leave some of that position open for higher levels, even to come and claim these highs. Okay, definitely. Cool. What else? What else? That's basically the analysis on Bitcoin for the moment. We'll just leave it at that. And let's go through ETH. Okay, you guys asked for some altcoins. I'll go through the comment section in a couple of minutes. Let's go through ETH. For those that has been following me, you will know that if I go here onto the 8 hour, just do a quick little recap. Okay, I know it looks a bit messy over there, but I can clean that up. But we have a channel, you know, since here from the 18th of June 2022. So quite a massive channel over here where we created the top and we created, or the bottom and we created the top. You drag your channel and look how nicely it's been respected, you know, not breaking through that bottom. And when we tapped this top here to perfection, we got the rejection. Okay, so this line here in the middle, the 50% line in the middle of the channel, is now acting as support for where we are right now. And then you'll see I have some mess going on here. So let's zoom into this structure, go into the 4 hour. You'll see I have alarms and everything set. And I think that alarm actually already played out. I can go and delete it. Right. Also, I love me trend lines on altcoins. You can see I've been tracking this momentum here to the downside. We had a little breakout. Okay. Nice little push up to the value area high. Why do I say value area high? Okay, let's just take some of the stuff out here, make it nice and clean. This consolidation from December up until where we are right now, we've kind of been in this range. Nice deviation above, but as soon as you get acceptance back, okay, that's your shorting ticket, that's your long ticket, you know, and you can see here, you would have made boatloads of cash. You short the tops, you long the bottoms, okay, and you don't try and catch the wicks or the deviations above. You wait for the price to come back down and you enter your stop loss above and you hit the bottom and you hit the top. You hit the bottom, you hit the top, you wait, we get acceptance back above, you enter, we hit the bottom, you enter your long, we hit the top. So nice little range from an Ethereum perspective, nice little money to be made on Ethereum, especially from a range trading perspective. Okay. Now I'm tracking this momentum here to the upside as well, finding support on the point of control, which is Confluence, with this home line, which I like to call it the home line. And we did break through. Question is, we need to hold this area. Okay, for Ethereum to remain bullish, I do not want to see us lose the point of control. Kind of feels like if Ethereum loses the point of control, then obviously it looks like the next stop will be the value area low, and then we'll have to observe what happens over there. Okay, perhaps another week and we go back to the top of the range, or we lose the level, we back test it for continuation to the downside. Okay, cool. What else? What else? Let's go to Rune. Rune, very similar. Let's go here onto the 4 hour. You can see I've been playing around, measuring out levels. Where can this take us? Okay, and you can see I've been going crazy with trend lines on Rune. I love to use trend lines on altcoins. They work way better than daily and weekly levels because altcoins do not respect levels as well as Bitcoin does. Okay, so trend lines for me work very well, and I've had great success with good risk management using trend line strategies on altcoins specifically. Okay, cool. So we have a major trend over here that we still need to go and break. But I've been tracking this momentum here to the downside. You know, the minimum rule for trend line is you want 3 touches at least. If you can get 4 or 5 touches, even better. And also I like to place my trend lines on top of the wicks. And the reason I do that is to try and prevent fake outs. Because when you put your trend lines too close, okay, you can have those little fake outs that stop you out when you try and play breakout strategies. Okay, cool. So a little bit of a hint over there is to say that place your trend lines on the wicks, you will have less fake outs and you'll be stopped out a lot less. Okay, so from Rune's perspective, we started forming these waves here to the upside. Difficult to say if this is a 3-wave or a 5-wave structure. 1, 2, 3, 4, okay, 5. This could be the end of the structure and we're going to find continuation down here. But also, you know, home line buys, I always say home line buys are the best buys. You want to buy when you get to your home line. Because look what happens. You come down, you move up. You come down, you move up. You come down. Will we move up? Potentially. What can happen here is we tap it, we make a lower high, and then we break it. Okay, definitely a scenario that can play out here. Or we find ourselves against this trend line where you want to see us break through with high volume and have at least 1 hour closes above the trend line. You don't just go and buy when you tap the trend line and your alarm goes off. So a little bit of education is you wait for minimum a couple of 15 minutes, 2 or 3 15-minute candles to close above, and that is your ticket for potential good risk management long to the upside. Okay, these wicks, you can see these wicks that we had over here. I'm here on the 4 hour. Let's go into the 1 hour and see if they actually close candles above. Right. Okay. I will just readjust my trend line. There was a couple of 1 hour closing candles. Okay. And yeah, but it wasn't convincing enough for me, because the one thing that I do look for is that you don't necessarily, tip that I've learned over the years is you have high volume over here, but the high volume wasn't during the breakout. The high volume was before you had the breakout. So then the volume starts decreasing to the downside. The volume starts decreasing here to the downside. Okay, so that is a clue as to you could potentially have a fake out to the upside. Okay, and you want to see, when you have a breakout, you want to see the high volume outside of the trend. You wanted to see it on this candle here, on this third candle here. That's where you wanted to see the high volume to then confirm continuation to the upside. Okay. This was not an easy one. You're breaking, you're breaking, you're breaking. Another tip is also when you are kissing a trend line, you keep on tapping it, tapping it, tapping it, tapping it. It's building up momentum for that potential breakout to the upside. And from a lower time frame perspective, you could have most probably had a trend. You could have had a trend over there. You want 3 touches, so 1, 2, 3. You would have had a fake out. So not an easy one. Really not an easy one to trade. Okay. Cool. Anyways, let's take some of the scribble out the way. Looking here at Rune. And we, yeah, like I said, we want to see this, you know, currently being supported here by the highs. You want to see the highs hold for continuation to the upside. Okay. Losing these highs potentially also means we're going to lose the trend and find continuation to the downside. Right. Let's ask some questions, read through some of the comments. Could you show us a few juicy altcoins? I have shown a couple of juicy altcoins. Hey, Devil, pleasure to be here with you and learn. Chris Vaga, do you need to pay for AGGR? No, it's free. It's completely free. So you go and search for that on Google, you go in and it's completely free. Okay, AK Domino, what will be next scenario for BTC for any long and shorts? I think I did cover the long and short scenarios. Are you long right now? No, I have not entered a trade. I've been busy the whole day today. I was quite happy with yesterday's trade, quite a high risk trade, and I have not entered. I was planning to enter over here with this retest, and I completely missed it. I was busy with something else. So if I miss a trade, I do not FOMO into a trade. If I've missed it, so you have to have a plan. You know, you have to have a plan. Plan your trade. Know where to take profit. Know where to place your risk. Okay, your stop loss, and know why you are entering. If I can't tick those boxes, I do not enter a trade, and trade from your area of interest, not to your area of interest. Okay, I see a lot of people, for example, is you are expecting, for example, I'm not saying this is going to happen, but let's say you are expecting the price to turn around here at some point. Okay, and then people will start entering. And as the price moves up, they enter, and they enter, and they enter, and they enter. And then this happens. Okay, and they keep on adding to their position. Right. If the plan is I'm going to create a swing position is low leverage, low capital, to say that I am confident from my analysis that price is not going to take this high. And I will go, let's just redo this. Okay, I'm confident that the trade is not going to take this high. based on my analysis, I want to see us create a lower high for continuation to the downside. What some traders will then do is they will build limit orders, which I don't recommend limit orders, or they will add to their position as the price moves up. Okay, and then when the price moves down, perhaps their profit target is here by the 618. They will then say, okay, that's where I plan to take profit. Here's my stop loss. This is the trade that I'm taking, and I will buy in on the way up. Okay, you've planned your trade, you've done your analysis, and you have a clear invalidation. Then the price does this, okay, it stops you out, fine. You know, you take the loss, you take the knock on the chin. Okay, you've planned your trade, and you do not, between where you've entered year and year and year and year, you should not lose more than maximum 3% of your capital. Okay. Right. What makes these trades extremely difficult, and this is where a lot of new beginning traders struggle, is that when they start adding here to their position, by the time the price is over here, they're already in 50% of their account. And when they get stopped out, you know, they lose a bigger portion of their account. So you have to go and be quite, you know, diligent with your calculations when you plan your trade. Okay, cool. So I do not FOMO into any trades. You will never see me FOMO into any trades. I used to FOMO, and it has cost me a lot of money. You make a lot of money, but you lose it also. Okay, cool. So yeah, for me, back to the comment is to say that my plan was to say, even in the community when I updated yesterday, is to say that we were over here and we were finding momentum to the upside. And I said that if we tap the level again, I would have liked to see us claim the lows over here. But nevertheless, we tapped it and we got acceptance back above the daily. That was the ticket that I wanted to play for long. For now, where price is now, I'm not entering. It's not at an area of interest to me. Although I could have said, well, my target is the highs. Okay, and now you go and enter the trade, FOMOing into the trade. You enter here, you put your stop loss. You have to, where do you put your stop loss? You have to put your stop loss here, and your target being the high. And then you go and work out, you take out your tool, long, okay. If this is the trade where we are right now, I have to put my stop loss below the lows, and I plan to take profit here by the highs. That's a 1.52 risk to reward. It's not worth it for me. I will not enter this trade right now. Okay, you can get lucky, you can make some money, but traders don't trade on luck. They plan their trades with good risk management, and they only trade from the area of interest, not to the area of interest. Right. Okay, I hope that makes sense. What else? What do you think about prop trading? I have never tried prop trading. I know Andy does it. I know a couple of people that does prop trading. I've never personally tried it, so I don't have any comment, but it's definitely something that I want to have a look at, see how this works. And I do see a couple of people making some good profits. I know there's a lot of scams out there. So I know Andy at the moment is testing one of the prop firms. He has had a small little payout, so I'll see how that goes before I dive into that. Okay, cool. That is basically it from my side. I will see you guys hopefully tomorrow in another live stream with Andy. And please smash up the like, go and subscribe to the channel for future updates. Show some love, support the channel. And I will see you guys in the next one. Cheers for now.